Hi, this is Chuck Williams, Diamond Global Power Affiliate with the Shopping Sherlock. We'd like to welcome everyone to our final session. It's the lesson session 4 recap, where we take your questions and answer questions and just kind of do a review of the final pieces, which is the recommendation request and just putting all the pieces together. So, Mike, this has been a great class. I think it's probably been the best one yet. Every time we go through this, we learn. We actually learn from the students some of the different questions. And so looking forward to wrapping up tonight and seeing these students get placed in the alumni and start to really apply what they're learning. I'll give you an example. Today, one of our first students, Marcus Harris, called me with a prospect that he had been taken through the preliminary interview. And this particular prospect is very, 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 very successful in business and in particular network marketing. He's one of the top income earners, top 5%ers in the world. He's originally from Bulgaria. He's currently living in Atlanta, Georgia. And Marcus hooked up with him on LinkedIn using the system that you've been taught here by Mike Mucci. And as he was going through the preliminary interview, this gentleman pretty much told Marcus that, you know, you're going to need to join my business, then I'll join yours, because I do business with people that do business with me. And Marcus pretty much told him, well, I'm not really interested in doing anything other than the Sherlock, so, you know, that's not going to work. So Marcus called me, and I basically told him about the story about a similar situation that happened in Sweden. And literally, if you've been watching Sherlock News and you saw the most recent update from Sweden, well over 500 new affiliates in Sweden just for the last 5-6 months, 22 new power affiliates, several globals. It is just exploding in Scandinavia. And it was one gentleman who pretty much had the same type of comment. Well, Marcus today got me on the phone with this gentleman. We did a 3-way call, and we basically had the opportunity to share with him a little bit about the Shopping Sherlock. He's interested, doing his due diligence. Now, will it result in a new distributor and 500-plus affiliates in the very near future like happened in Sweden? Hey, no telling. But we've got a great chance. Why do we have that chance? We have that chance because of Mike Mucci's LinkedIn lead generation training led us to the right person. And then Marcus knew how to get into the preliminary interview and how to do a successful 3-way call. Everything you're learning here ties together. And tonight we're going to wrap it up, and then we're going to deem you graduated, and you can start attending the alumni weekly sessions where we really get into role-playing and showing you how to get the person from raising their hand, saying, I'm interested, which is Mike's, really his job, is to get you a good quality lead. That's what he's training you to do. And then we're going to take that next step and teach you how to take that prospect that's interested and carefully walk them through the system, professionally walk them through the system. And at the other end, we're going to create a productive, reproducing team member for you. And you're going to encourage them to take the LinkedIn training so they can keep it going, paying it forward. So without any further ado, I just want to give you a quick testimony as recently as today. Mike, we know this works. All we have to do is find people that are willing to take the training, apply it, and work it regularly, consistently, and faithfully. Not worry about the day-to-day results, but realize they're filling up their pipeline. And just like happened with Marcus today, he may have found his golden nugget he was looking for. So without any more, Mike Mucci, take it away, buddy.
Okay, thanks, Chuck. You want to give me the screen back so I can pull up the lesson 4, Chuck? Okay. Very good. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate it. One of the things I wanted to remind everybody of, now this was lesson 4, and of course we have the continued education as well, but that doesn't mean that I'm not available to help you via email or, you know, one-on-one calls when you need it. So, you know, it's our goal when we started this, you know, to get you through the 4 lessons and get everything in play for you. And then, as Chuck mentioned, we're going to work and have some fun while we do it, learning how to role play, and you're going to be extremely confident when people do raise their hand. And that's what this is all about, building those high trust relationships first and being able to introduce the real value and benefits of the Shopping Sherlock, of the app, of the coming mobile app, and of course, the business itself. So what we usually do on this call is, this is a Q&A call. So we're here tonight, Chuck and I both, to answer any questions that you have. So don't hold back. We all learn, even if you think that the question is, you don't feel confident asking it, ask away. We're here to help you. So just simply raise your hand. We'll call on you, and Chuck and I will help you. No hands raised, Chuck. Oh, we got one. We got Tom. Okay. Good evening, Tom. How are you tonight?
I'm doing fine. You can hear me?
Yeah, you're a little weak, Tom.
Yeah,
based on usual where you are.
Plug it in here. Bear with me.
Okay.
Is that better?
No.
No.
You want us to come back to you, Tom, in a minute?
Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. Let me pick it up.
Okay. Okay, I can barely hear you. Okay, we'll come back to Tom momentarily. Okay, I'm going to go to Gail Forrest. Hello, Gail. You're unmuted.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Welcome. Yes, we can.
My question is, I'm feeling, after looking at all these wonderful LinkedIn pages from all over the country and the world, I'm feeling a little intimidated about trying to build in my qualifications at the bottom. Not qualifications, but strengths and weaknesses, I guess. Strengths, mostly. And I'm wondering if there's a system of doing that.
Are you what part of the profile are you referring to, Gail? Let me go to the LinkedIn page. Hold on a minute. Let me pull it up, and I'll switch pages here. And I'll go to my profile. Okay. What part of the are you talking about below where experience is?
Keep going down. Down towards the, not experience, but the value, the value that people see in us.
I'm going to have to be more specific, Gail, because I'm not certain what you're...
It's the skills and endorsements. Skills.
Okay. Well, that comes, Gail, with the more... That comes with the more connections you get, your skills and endorsements will pop up for people to respond to. But at the moment, you only have 58 connections, so you're not going to have any track record there. But it will happen as you build your connections out. Your skills and endorsement are going to appear on those pages of people you connect with, and then they will do that. So that takes time.
So that comes from somebody else?
That's correct.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's correct. So the more connections you make, you'll get more people responding there. So that will come with time. Okay.
Okay, I'm working on it.
All right. Very good. Thanks, Gil. All right. Let's see, we got to hit more hands raised. Vanita, Paul Glover, Kate in Australia, Evangeline, Cassandra, Anna Hill. Anna, we're talking in the morning. Ann Lear. Okay, Gail Forrest, you can lower your hand too. I was going to tell you that. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? We got a quiet group here tonight, Chuck. Do we bring out the stand-up comic?
No, I guess they know all the answers.
Okay, well, wait, Evangeline just, okay. Okay, Evangeline, how are you tonight?
Hi, Chuck. Hi, Mike. I'm here at the ER with my dad, but I brought my iPad and I was able to get a signal. You guys are coming through a little broken up on my end. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. My question was, I sent you and Chuck and Brandon an email. I had a lady that contacted me yesterday. She called me directly from my LinkedIn profile, and I was just so elated. I told her that we had a protocol to follow and stuff, but I didn't have the questions like right off the top of my head. But I told her what I would do is contact Chuck and you and my upline, and I said I would get back to her and let her know what the questions were and if she'd be willing to answer. So she said yes. So what I did was, because Chuck was busy last night and everybody was kind of busy with seminars and stuff, but I sent her the 3 questions, and I asked her if she would fill it out and then let me know, email me back and let me know the best time that we can do a conference call with her. So I haven't heard from her yet, but I wanted to call her back, but I'm not still sure how to proceed from there.
Okay. And Evangeline, I might have not made myself clear, and I apologize if I didn't. But the three questions, actually there's 4 questions, but the 3 questions that you sent her via email, that is not intended to be emailed. Those questions are intended to when you have, the phone call going.
Right, and I kind of gathered that afterwards, but since I had already told her that I was going to, I told her, to give us the best time so we could go over the questions and her answer.
Okay.
So, because I was just kind of winging it, Brendan showed me where the 3 questions were, so, I was kind of winging it.
Okay. Well, Chuck, let me ask you a question. That email did come in this morning, and we didn't get a chance to talk about that, but we might have a gap here. Maybe you could speak to, Chuck, the best way to handle something like that, but we certainly don't want to email the questions to people. You have any thoughts on that, Chuck?
Yeah, we definitely do not email the questions to a person. That totally defeats the purpose of the preliminary interview. The preliminary interview is set up for you to sell yourself and to build a relationship with that potential prospect, and really basically to even find out if they are a prospect. That's why I say potential prospect. The whole key to this, and really the art of this, is when that person expresses interest. It can be done in a million different ways. It can be send me some information, call me, whatever they say to let you know that they want to know more. It's at that point that you go into preliminary interview mode, and you take the role of a recruiter, and you basically set up an appointment. And you set up an appointment to do your preliminary interview, and you tell them that, the next step in the process is a very short preliminary interview, so we get to know each other a little bit. I can give you some information about our program. That's it. I mean, you can ask me a million different ways. That's the answer, and you got to stick to your guns. Now, if a person absolutely positively refuses to cooperate with you, they've just screened themselves off my team. And I don't know how else to say that, but you don't have to beg people to do things. If they don't want to play by the system, then they're not going to be a good teammate anyway. They're telling you that by their actions. Now, do I just let them go? No. I'll take a shot in the dark. I'll send them a preliminary interview. I'll send them a link to my video, my marketing system. I'll do all that stuff because I might get lucky and they got a smart spouse who checks their email and finds it. I'm not going to just drop them, but I'm not going to consider them a good prospect anymore.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah. My comment to Evangeline is this too, and you know, from day one I've been highly impressed with her professionalism and her personality. And Evangeline, I don't think that, you know, you put your best foot forward that way, and it certainly didn't, you know, it didn't take in the steps of posturing and take away selling. So we got to have to work on that, and that's with the continuous education. Evangeline, you have the potential here to be an extremely successful distributor. You have it. So we've got to work on that, you know, we've got to work and refine some of those skills for you, and we will. Okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Don't be concerned about it. You know, you didn't do anything that wrong or anything like that. But I think after you know, go through the role playing and everything, I think you're going to see the difference in, you know, what you did here and what you're about to learn. So.
Right, because I remember you guys said don't just send them out a link, because that's what she wanted. She wanted to know how much it costs to go to get in.
Well,
and
let's talk about that for a moment, okay?
Okay.
When people are asking me for a link and how much it takes to get in and this and that, you've lost them. You're not controlling the preliminary interview right there. They are.
Right, that's why I told them there was a protocol we had to follow.
Right, but let me finish, okay? That person would have said, you know, here's how I would have handled that, okay? What was her name?
Her name was Jill.
Okay, Jill.
Yeah, Jill.
Okay,
I can't
Jill.
remember her last name.
Okay, all right, Jill. You know, thank you for your interest. We anticipate we're going to have lots of candidates for this position. And what we do is we do a preliminary interview. We set it up. It takes about 15 or 20 minutes. Right now, I'm doing interviews on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, some in the afternoon and some in the evenings. They take about 15 minutes. What would be the best time for you, morning or afternoon? Then she says afternoon. Okay, which day, Wednesday or Thursday? Okay, Thursday. Feed it back to her. We'll give you a call then. I look forward to it. What number do you want me to call you at? Or would you like to do it on Skype? I'm leading with questions, and if she asks me, well, what's this all about, and so on and so forth, what I would tell her is this. We're one of the leading companies, and we empower consumers, you know, to save money on products and services they're spending their household incomes on already. And we actually surpass, you know, consumer reports and some of, you know, the price lines and so on and so forth. So I'm sure you're going to be excited, and I'll get you all that information. But since we got a lot of people we're going to be, you know, considering, I would, you know, I'm inviting you to go through the preliminary interview process, and you can be a candidate. That's how I would have handled that. Anybody have any comments about that? But you see what I did there, Evangeline?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Okay. Chuck, any comments on that?
No, you're right on, Mike.
Okay. Very good. Very good. We'll get you there, Evangeline. You have the ability to do that. Everybody here does. Everybody here does. It's not that difficult. It really isn't.
Yeah, it comes with practice.
Yeah. And I think what's really going to help everybody go from zero to hero with this, Chuck, is we're putting together a tool. It'll be in notes. It'll be in scripts. It'll be all, you know, spelled out for you, what you do here, what you do there. Here's the questions you ask. Here's how you do this. Here's how you answer this objection. And Chuck and I are working really extremely hard. And we're going to ask, you know, a few of you on this call, too, to give us some input. So we're going to cover it all for you. And if you practice it, like Chuck said, you're going to do well. And guess what? if you make a mistake, who's going to know? The other person isn't going to know. They never heard it before. So it isn't like a song that you sing the wrong lyrics to. So, you know, we want you to develop that confidence.
Hey, Mike, I just want to add on to what you're talking about there. That's not part of the LinkedIn lead generation training. We are making it part of the LinkedIn alumni that's free to everybody who goes through the training. You just jump on there once a week and we update you on what's going on. But it's something we noticed that, you know, we just assumed people knew how to take a good lead and walk them through the system. And we're finding that not to be the case with a lot of people. So we're taking the time to further train. Now, we've done the job of the training, which is to get you leads. Now we're teaching you how to actually take those leads from being a lead to being a team member, a productive, reproducing team member. So it's a whole other step in the process, and it's just going to be added on to the end because we realize there's a lot of people that need it. Mike, I had a question out here from Kate in Australia. She said, just in case you can't hear me again, so she's typing it in, what's your view on lions? And for those who don't know what a lion is, why don't you explain that and then tell her your view on lions?
Lions are, they're LinkedIn open networkers, meaning they'll connect with anybody. I see no problem, Kate, with connecting with them. They're just really, you know, they take the LinkedIn connection process to the max. You know, they value volumes of connections. And I think it might be a little bit different from what we do because we value targeting. We're targeting like-minded people in the beginning here. So I see no problem with connecting to them at all. Not at all. But it means LinkedIn Open Networker, L-I-O-N. That's what it means. Does everybody understand how to, you know, copy and paste the recommendation request? How to put 50 people into a LinkedIn message and send it properly? I guess that would be my question for everybody tonight, because that was the big piece that we had the other day. Okay. Tom, you're unmuted.
All right, can you hear me better now?
Absolutely, Tom.
Okay. Couple things. First of all, the alumni meetings, when are those going to start, the webinars?
Next Wednesday at 9 o'clock.
Okay, and are you just going to automatically assume all of us want to be on that?
Yes, you'll be invited.
All right, thanks very much on that. Next question. Obviously, we've got a ton of different groups we can go into, and I would assume some groups are better at mining connections than other groups. So are there any rough numbers or parameters you can give me as to what is a good day? I mean, I spent probably about 3 hours over the last 3 days, and I got about 25 connections, 25, 30. I mean, so I really don't know what the connections versus the acceptances ratio should be. I know that'll vary from group to group, but can you give me some guidance on that?
Yeah, I'll give you a ballpark, Tom. First couple days, 40 to 50% of the people will reach back out and connect with you. And then I've had individuals connect with me 30 days later. Not everybody's on LinkedIn. Some people might check it daily, others might check it twice a week. Some people check it at the end of the week or the beginning of the week.
Right.
So, but there is no, I have just found, from my own experience, about 40 to 50% of the people will come back and connect with me in the first 48 to 72 hours. Chuck, you wanna put forth any of what you've experienced on there?
Pretty much the same thing, Mike. Like you said, I get people from, a month earlier when I sent out the request, all of a sudden accept it. And it's just because, LinkedIn resends it to them multiple times too. And so it's just a timing issue.
Okay, so if I send out 100 requests, I should reasonably expect over a period of time 30 to 50% of those to come back to me.
Absolutely, especially if you're doing it right, Tom. Now, people take shortcuts and they change our scripts and everything else, but if you do the way Mike taught you, to where you're personalizing the invitation and you're mentioning something you noticed in their profile to where they know it's a personalized invite, not just going out there and massively trying to connect with people, your response rate will be much, much higher than if you try some generic thing and it's obvious. Does that make sense?
Okay, I understand. Now, basically what I'm saying is, hi, so-and-so. I'm interested in having you join my LinkedIn network. Thanks. Tom Sigwin, Shopping Sherlock International. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah, well, I would not connect with you with that invite.
I was just going to say I think we can improve on that.
Yeah, Mike.
Okay,
you used to train with they used to have I thought that was in a training where it's kind of like a.
There is.
Okay, good. There should be a template that you should be using.
That was one of the questions I was going to ask Mike on our session tomorrow. So since you brought it up, I'll ask it here because it goes right along with, I assume you're talking about the part that says, I'd be interested in hearing about your business. That basic.
Well,
I think that was in the training there.
Right. I personalize it even more, Tom. I say, hi, Tom. I'd like to add you to my connections here on LinkedIn and learn more about your Shopping Sherlock business. I actually take the time to see what their title is, what business they're in, and then, of course, I sign it. And don't forget, I'm working with people in business, golf, and business too. And when they see the word golf, that gives me an advantage. But I think you putting Shopping Sherlock International, I just don't think people connect to that brand, and I don't think it's magnetic. Nothing against the Shopping Sherlock. It's just a new brand. Yeah.
So. Once again, I think this is for kind of the benefit for everybody. Can you give kind of a sample knowing that I'm Shopping Sherlock, and let's say I'm a web developer. I don't know if that's somebody you connect with anyway, but I'm just throwing that out. So can you give me a ballpark on what you might say?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to learn more about your skill sets as a web developer. I mean, if they don't have a company name there, something like that. I use the term skill sets a lot because what I'm doing is I'm just extending to them that I've taken a few minutes to see what they do, and I have an interest in learning more. So that's how I would handle that. In your case, test it, Tom. Test it. Do it, and leave Shopping Sherlock off the bottom. Leave it off the bottom, and I'm gonna pass this over to Chuck too, and let him, because he's what do you have, over 3,000 connections now, Chuck?
I don't know. It's probably close to 3,000. But yeah, Tom, what he's telling you is absolutely right. Personalize it, show an interest in what they do, and take anything in reference to Shopping Sherlock off. Keep the focus totally on them and potential benefit. You just want to learn something about them. That's what's going to get you a high number of connections.
Well, I'll play devil's advocate here because I know we're looking for introductions. So let me just play for relationships rather. So devil's advocate me would say, do I care about their business?
You better.
Because well, understand, but here the web developer comes back to me and now he's trying to sell me something.
I've never had that happen, Tom.
Okay, well that's what I want to know.
Yeah,
because I understand why you would say that, because you're building relationship. On the other hand, you probably don't want a lot of requests for them to look at their business, correct?
Yeah, right. I mean, I have over 3,200 connections, and I've never had that. I never was in that position at all.
Okay, all right.
I've had it happen to me, Mike. And in fact, some of you, if you're on my team, you've seen the lead outcome email system I've been using. I've been using it with prospects longer, but I just started using it with my team emails too. I found that entire marketing system through LinkedIn. I showed some interest in the guy's business, and he shared with me a marketing system he was using. It was called Lead Outcome. So, I mean, I actually purchased that system because of a LinkedIn ad where I expressed interest in the guy's profile, and it was genuine. You know, I'm always asking people how they market their business, what they're doing to market their business, how they're using LinkedIn to market their business. Those are the questions I use to build a relationship. And every once in a while, somebody will try to sell me something, Tom. And, you know, it's like anything. You got to be able to say no if you don't need it. But every once in a while, it's a great fit. It's like, man, I'd love to have that. Now, the one thing you definitely got to realize is when you start becoming active in any type of prospecting and you start getting good at it, people are going to try to recruit you into their network marketing business. And that's like with the situation with Marcus Harris today. You got to get really good at just saying, hey, you know, I'm totally focused on this. I'm just looking for somebody who might be interested in diversifying their business. And if this isn't for you, I'm just going to wish you well, and we'll both, you know, there's lots of things people can do to make money and just get off. But
I got no problem with doing any of that. I just kind of want to make sure I do the right introduction here, and that was one of my concerns, not getting overwhelmed with about a lot of requests. And if you're saying that rarely happens, then the odd requests that I do get, I can handle that individually as that happens.
Yep.
And I do care about other people's business.
I know you do.
I was playing devil's advocate there, okay? So, all right. So I guess all we can really do is try these numbers out. And if you're getting 30 to 50% within a couple of days of what you put out, then you can assume that your invitation and the group you're sending it to is pretty good.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks for your help.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Okay. Anybody else have a question on that?
Mike, there are actually some questions being typed out here. Some of them relate. Kate in Australia, and we need to keep an eye on the clock. We need to be wrapping this up in about 10 minutes. Are you concerned about IDK? I don't know. Refusal to link with you. I understand that with too many of these, your profile is shut down. Either one of us can address that, but you want to address it, Mike?
I don't know what IDK is.
It's when you try to connect with somebody, if they report that they don't know you.
As long, Kate, as you're in a group with somebody, that's permission based. That's right in the LinkedIn rules. If you go to the poison page, people you may know, and start sending out connection requests, that's the only time I've heard of anybody getting their hands locked. If you stay in the groups, that's permission based. Because when you get there, it says, how do I know Kate? And if I click on groups and her and I are in the same groups together, that's permission based.
Good job, Mike. See if I missed any more here. There's quite a few here, actually. Vanita, is asking, after we invite, do we send a Shopping Sherlock link then or after the acceptance?
No.
Yeah, make sure you go through the, she might not have access to the Getting Started Right training. If you go to teamofhope.com, and go down to the go to the archives and go to the very first one in March. It's the very first one down the very bottom of March. It's the Getting Started Right training. It kind of walks you through the whole system of how to approach prospects. But in this system, what you want to do is you find someone that's interested with a recommendation request, and then you set up a preliminary interview, and you do the preliminary interview either on Skype or on the phone or in person. More often than not, I do it on Skype. At the end of the preliminary interview, if I want to continue, you notice I say if I want to continue, it's my choice, then I will go into the presentation of the product. And I'm not going to send them a link except I'm going to send it to them when they're ready to watch it. So if they tell me I got some time right now, let's do this, and I'm able to, then I'm going to send them a link with me on the line with them, watching the videos with them. It's very, very important. If you just send them the link, again, you lose control, and you might as well just be throwing stuff up against the wall. This is a system that helps you stay in control. So after the preliminary interview, either then if you both have time, or you set a time. And when I set a time, I don't send the link until I'm on at that scheduled time, and then I send the link, and then I watch the videos with them. You will save yourself a ton of time long term by spending the time with them watching the videos instead of spending 3 days to a week trying to follow up to see if they watch the videos. So those nuggets right there are worth a fortune to you if you really apply them. Is it all right to personalize the form letters you have given us so that they meet more with our personality, and also after a short period of time so that we don't come across as pushy? First of all, none of the letters or anything we do should come across pushy. Everything we've done, we've made very sure it's professional. If you send it out every 2 weeks, if you send out much less than that, you're not going to create the repetition in their mind. They're not going to remember who you are. So, every couple of weeks is a good amount of times to be sending out. It's usually the 5th, 6th, 7th time when someone starts to take you seriously. I don't recommend you change much at all, and if I did, I would make sure you check with Mike or myself, because these are not something we just threw out there to you. I mean, these have been tried and tested, tweaked and tested and tested and tested and tested. What you're getting is stuff that works. So you go change in one word, it may take you from something that works to something that doesn't work. So Mike, you may feel differently, but that's how I feel about it.
No, my answer is I wouldn't change because they work. It's as simple as that. I mean, I remember in my training, one of the classes where it's, back in the day in TV Guide or in the National Enquirer, when you bought it at the counter at the grocery store, you'd see the same ads in the back of those publications. Reader's Digest all the time, same ones. And I remember somebody asking the question, why do they keep running the same ad? And the answer was so simple, because they work. So we've tested a lot. We just didn't write that and, come up with it off the top of our heads. We've tested these things. We've tested headlines, so on and so forth. And the purpose of that lead generation magnet, it's just a step in the process. They raise their hand and they want more information. And I think the one mindset everybody has here that you really have to check at the door is you have to build a relationship first, sell yourself, and then start the selection process. And, from the training, when we get folks is they're all coming to us, they think they have to pitch. And people don't want to be pitched today. They really, really don't. Think about it yourself. The last time you made a major, acquisition, did you just walk into the first car dealership and buy the first car you saw? Did you do some, did you build some trust with the people there? Did you go back and read reviews online about other owners that had that car? People don't want to be pitched, and you're not selling the shopping Sherlock to them. What you're selling them is a new career. So people have choices to make. They have decisions. They have to have facts. They have to, how can it help them? What's in it for them? So as soon as you can develop and understand and appreciate that mindset, slow yourself down. Don't pitch. And you'll be in control that way as well, too.
Mike, I don't know if Tom's hand is still up from before or if he's got another comment.
It's still up from before, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, it's down. Thanks, Tom. All right, that's all the questions. There's a few other comments and a lot of thank yous to you, Mike. All right, that's all the questions.
Hey, Chuck, I just wanted to say one thing. We're not finished with this training. The other side of this is access to you and I. We want everybody to get results from this. We said that from day one, and we're going to do that. Some people are going to get results quicker. Some it's going to take a little bit longer. Don't worry if it takes you a little bit longer. Persevere. Stay with it. We'll help you. Persevere. Stay with it. We'll help you. And when we get into these role plays, don't miss them. Don't miss them, because you might be a spectator, but you're going to learn from every little piece that we do. You're going to get a chance to do it as well. So it's going to be a real important time for you, to be a really good distributor in shopping Sherlock, one that can prosper outside of your warm market. That's what's at stake. So thanks again, everybody.
Hey, Mike, real quick as we wrap up, Kate had a question. I know we got just a couple minutes here. I think you can do it real quick. She wants to know if you could just show her again how to do the 50 at a time.
I'll do that with her on Skype.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to have time, Chuck.
Okay, buddy. Thanks. All right, everybody. That concludes our presentation. Actually concludes your training for the LinkedIn. You can go back. We'll send out the recording of all the sessions. You can review them. Mike is available to answer questions. And now it's an ongoing relationship where you get on the alumni every week and do the role playing and continue to learn and improve and practice. And I'm telling you, I've told Mike today, I have a phenomenal perspective, and I get to watch all these people blossoming and getting great leads around the country and around the world. It is a blast. So, Kate, I think you're the first student that I remember in Australia. So you talk about having an advantage over there. That's incredible. Nike in Nigeria was our first student in Nigeria. Now she's personally enrolled like 4 good people in Nigeria using this system. Her team's growing. She's making money. She just enrolled a superstar through LinkedIn training. So it's up to you now. The ball's in your court. You've got the tools. You've got the training. You just got to start doing it. You're going to get better. So just don't worry at the beginning. Just start using it. Finding another buddy who's going through the training with you. Practice on each other if you need to. But it's all in getting out there and taking action now so you can learn and improve. So, Mike, you're awesome, brother. Thank you so much. Appreciate what you do for our team.
Okay. Thank you, Chuck. Good night.